Okay, all right. Today we're going to be looking at, it's going to be a short video. We're going to look at some videos. We're trying to discover how many Afro uh, Caribbeans people there are. What's the demographic? So we went and we researched the demographic. A lot of people think that there's more black people, black and brown people, melanated people in North America than it is in South America, Brazil, the Caribbean. It's over 600 million Brazilian Caribbean people down there, and about 85% are black. All right, they say now if you watch the videos through, like Ace and Check and Effect, that they will tell you that their ancestors told them that they came to the Caribbean, that they were brought to the Caribbean just like the black people in North America was brought on slave ships. They don't even know that there were native people, that there were indigenous people in America, about 500 million in America before Columbus ever uh, America Vespucci, Columbus, whoever, before the colonizer came, there was 10 tribes of Northern Kingdom Israelites had been in North America for about 3,000 years. And if you do your research, you will find out that black people populate faster, they reproduce faster than any other demographic, right? And it's been said in slavery, we have uh, regenerated 3 million people every 20 years. And you divide that 20 into 3,000 years, and then you do the math, 2,000 every 20 years, you'll come up with almost 3 to 500, about 500 million people that was in North America when they got here. Okay? So we're going to look and show you that. I know you think the Dominican Republic is different from Haiti or Puerto Rico, but you'll actually see more Negroes here in the Dominican, Domingo. You'll see more Afro-looking people. I mean, more Negro-looking people than you do right, actually anywhere. This is how we look before they got to us and put us in slavery. Okay? You'll see a big difference, but the facial features are still Negroid. They're still Northern Kingdom. Jacob and his wives. That's who we look like, our grandfather and our grandmother. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to start this video and run this a little bit. You can get the video and run it back, but you see who's walking through the streets. This is urban. This is the urban area. This is where they say there's about 600 million people in the urban areas of the Caribbeans. Not the suburbs. Of course, they're in the suburbs too, but we're looking at the urban area. They're predominantly black and brown. And even the brown people have some very non-melanated people living amongst them, and relatives, they look like they're sisters and brothers, you know. The non-melanated people in the urban areas, they claim black too. They claim to come over here on slave ships too. And we see who's down here in the urban areas. It's not like Cuba, the urban areas in some of those other places. This is the Dominican Republic, right next to Haiti. And Puerto Rico is the same way. They look light skinned. That's the cake unturned. Not non-melanated, but the cake unturned, because you know wheat was golden. So if you talk about a cake in biblical days, a cake unturned, you would be talking about brown wheat, not bleached out wheat. But we see that scripture is taken out of context, a cake unturned and a speckled bird, because we see who these people are. A lot of them, they don't all have the same amount of melanin, but the majority of them are dark and brown, dark skin, light skin, dark skin, light skin. And we can see Cuba. We go to check effect. We'll go look at his videos. He's got a lot. He went to all the Afro countries. I asked him to do it. Went to all the Afro-Caribbean countries, a lot of them, and took videos in their neighborhood. Interviewed them in their neighborhoods. But this is the urban area, because I'm going to show you the demographics in the urban area. This is the Dominican. Whoever thought? Remember when all those evangelical preachers were saying that Hades was studying voodoo as the reason why they're in the condition they're in, but the Dominican Republicans, they became Christians, and so they're doing a lot better. This is what they call doing a lot better. Because, you know, they sold out to the white colonizers. You don't see this kind of urban demographic in North America. You don't see these many black people downtown at the market. And this is not even Brazil yet. It's 91 million black people in Brazil. 91 million. That's more than North America. So I'm sure you guys seen this video. They're everywhere, and it's crowded. The streets are crowded. Black and brown people in the market, running their markets, stores. This is how we should be surviving, selling to each other, supporting our own businesses. Now, am I saying they're godly? No, I know they don't know who they are, because they think they came from Africa when they were brought from North America. How do you think they got more people, black people down? Did they populate faster? Did they have babies faster? No. Did they have an easier route to get? Not from what they're saying. They're saying they lost over 100 million people on the transport from Africa. You know why they're saying that? Because they're trying to explain where when we do the math, they knew somebody with some smarts or just some sense, God-given revelation, is going to figure out that they brought these people from North America. After the 1800s, around the 1800s, when they transported a lot of slaves down, when the French and the Portuguese and China and and the Dutch, you know, when they started building their empires after North America, after they fought and they had to divide and go elsewhere, plant their sugar, tobacco, to build their empires, they took people down here. It's 30,000 in a little town. 30,000 Germans. The Dutch took 30,000 in a little town right under Brazil, and you know, they get along perfect now. You know, 30,000. I think that was some place in Brazil, Well, 30,000 rebelled against their masters and went up into the mountains, and they didn't come down until they, they had wars and wars with them, but they didn't come down until they had deleted most of the masters, and they got tired of living in those mountains, and they made a treaty with them, and they're keeping the treaty to today. Sort of like Bacon's rebellion, but the people rebelled and they got the upper hand.
Y un gran especial de pantalón y jeans para damas en super ofertas. Recuerde, importadora Harlow con un carrito especial de verduras en jeans para caballeros y niños rebajados de precio. Importadora Harlow con un carrito especial.
Okay, this is Check and Effect. This is the name of the video.
You guys, ¿vos habla inglés? No. ¿Cuál es su nombre? Belena. Soy checo. Soy checo. No, yo voy a Parque Madura y filmar Parque Madura. Miami.
Boticário Polo 1, primeiro piso. Loja O Boticário Calça.
What's up? You rocking with the one and only Check and Effect. Today we are going to Madeira, and this is a Afro-Brazilian neighborhood in near Rio. It's kind of far. I didn't expect it to be this far. It's about a good 35 minutes away from Ipanema, Copacabana. If you're in Centro, Santa Teresa is a little bit shorter. But look, just coming through this area, you can see the change, how things are starting to change. And I don't know nothing about this area, so I'm diving in head first. I don't know if it's dangerous, I don't know what. I just know about the park, and there's a really nice club called Casa Black that's in this area. So I'm just gonna venture out and see, man. I'm gonna start off with going out to the park, maybe grabbing some food and see the locals.
Okay, let's see if we can.
Man, this where it's at, man. Look, check this out. I came here on the humbum. I just heard about the area. Everybody come out here at night. Nobody comes in here today. I came on the humbum. I even looked on YouTube. There's not even that many videos here. So by me coming here on the humbum.
Okay. He's on the humbum.
God, oh. This was a paradise. All you need to do, I'm not gonna try it. He ain't seen not one strap. What's the point? He ain't seen not one strap. Because there was a lot of straps. My boy right here didn't see nothing. How you ain't seen no straps, gang? He was focused. He ain't seen not one strap. What's the point?
See y'all back there? Those are black people. That's where the black people live, up in those houses on the mountains. And there's a lot of videos that show that. And this happens, you see this in Cuba, you see this everywhere you go. This is how they live. They stack them on, that's Bible prophecy. They stack them on top of each other. Now I'm going to go to you. Let's see if we can get some. This is the Dominican again. The nightlife. Cover your eyes if you're married.
What's up, ladies and germs? What's going on, fellas? Rich is Matt, back at it again. Now, be honest. Whether you've been to DR or not, if you're chatting online even, how many times have you heard the baby needs milk? Be honest. Be honest with me. How many times you heard that? Baby need milk, grandma fell, daddy's in the hospital, cousin's in the hospital. We can be real with each other, man. Mom looking good. Yeah, listen, I'm grown enough to admit that mom wasn't looking too bad, right? Damn. Anyhow, yeah, she wasn't, crazy with it and nothing like that, but she had a little classiness about her. So I give her some props. Listen, you guys know I don't mess with the baby mamas. She better only be my baby mama, right? By the way, in my ebooks. But yeah, let's say you figured it out. So now you're not just flying in for the weekend, man. You're flying in for, longer period of time, or you're living there. And you're telling yourself, man, like 100 years old. Basically, somewhere along that line, he took a loan. Things ended up with that property being in his name. He then, when they were older, kicked out my grandmother and grandfather. My mother and my aunt unfortunately had passed by that time, and end up walking away with a house. Didn't buy the land, didn't build the first part, and apparently just because he spent a little bit of money on the top part of the house, although he was living there all his adult life after he moved in when they were youngly married, he decided that he was entitled to that family property.
Now, you see how they say all the dark-skinned people are Judah? So, you said they brought Judah over here and they're in North America, right? Well, you see this woman here?
A married Hindu.
Yeah, you might say, well, she's African. You don't know that. But one thing we know, she's dark-skinned. She's of the dark race. She's of the darker tribes. So there's dark and light skin all through the Northern Kingdom. This is the Northern Kingdom down here on these Caribbean islands and stuff. So let's see if we can go. So this is the Dominican Republican. So, okay. Okay, so these are our people in the Dominican, where they told you they're not Hades. They did better than Hades because they accepted Christianity and the white Jesus. Maybe they didn't put so much of a burden on these people, but they're not. They're still in slavery. They're still occupied. They still don't have any power. They're still destroyed. And Esau's bastard children are down here with them. But they become one family, the poor people. It's the poor people against the rich people everywhere in our Israelite culture.
So I'm going with these guys. I don't really know them, bro. They just hope nothing bad happens, bro. I don't really get run up or nothing. Police just came and they're shutting everything down, bro. Esos son como los normas de aquí del barrio, ¿cierto?
El barrio caliente o frío, digamos el barrio a ellos.
No, ahora mismo está un poco frío, pero es caliente.
Los gays, esos tipos de atracan.
El chico. What you know?
This is let's see. This is Israel.
Okay, muchachos. I'm back with another video. And today, I'm in Santo Domingo still. And I'm bringing you a big video today, guys. So today, I'm taking you guys to the biggest and the most dangerous barrio here in RD, which is called La 42. If you guys never heard of La 42 is like I said, one of the most dangerous barrios. People wouldn't recommend you to go there. Normally, like, people would ask me why would I go there. You know, I was doing some research to where to go, and you know what?
Now, don't that sound like the blacks here? Does this sound like this? Those Indians? Let's see what we're gonna get here. They eat a lot of chicken too.
Ok, mucho
Apoyo.
Aquí. Ok, vamos a la playa. Ah, aquí pica pollo. Buenas. This look better though. ¿Ustedes tienen hambre? Sí, tienen hambre, no. Yo no tengo hambre mucho, yo solo quiero como un presa, algo como así.
Una pieza.
Sí. Buenas, ¿cómo estás? ¿De dónde eres?
China.
Sí, eres de China. ¿De dónde? Yo, ¿de dónde? ¿Hablas español?
Claro,
¿En serio?
en serio.
¿De dónde eres?
Santo Domingo.
No, mami, eres un extranjero, ¿no?
Vamos por aquí, entramos por allá al mercado. Nos vamos a la orilla de la calle.
Ajá,
El mercado, aquí la gente sobrevive de lo que pueda, como pueda,
ajá,
porque lo que hay que echar para adelante de todo modo.
sí.
Hay muchos haitianos aquí, muchos
Sí.
haitianos.
Ammon and Moab, we had close interactions with them, Buffalo soldiers, and then all the military soldiers, all the United States, North America. When we went to those islands, Okinawa, Thailand, Filipinos, Korea, South Vietnam, we dropped babies off there. And that's how that's how you can tell they're melanated. Not only that, they Ammon and Moab came from Lot's brother's son. Came from let me see. Came from Lot, Abraham's brother's son. So they were black, dark-skinned people. The Edomites were not on the earth yet. So, Lot, the Edomites wasn't on the earth yet because they came with Jacob. Jacob wasn't on the earth, and neither were the Israelites. So a lot of these people are older. Am I saying that right? Yeah, the Moab and Ammon is older than the Israelites. And Esau, he actually went up and conquered Ammon, I think around the time, he did. Yeah, Esau, he came with Jacob. So yeah, he conquered Ammon. The northern kingdom was already here. So Ammon lost a lot of them lost their melanin when Esau conquered them, and they became Japanese. Same thing happened with Moab. They became China, and then the branches, Filipinos, Koreans, they came later. They came from Blanco Mento. When that started, that's when they started whiting out their melanated offspring. So I want to go get to this population thing, because that's basically what I want to show you. This population, and show you how many people, melanated people who call themselves slaves from the slave ships, they know this is not they're not saying they originated here. They're saying they were brought here. They're not like our so-called Foundation Black American. We was just always here. No, they go back and study, and their ancestors told them they were brought there on slave ships. So, during 1800s, when America got strong and became a nation, had an army, they overthrew Gad through treaties, and the same way they're doing in the Iranians and everybody all over the earth. They would distress you. They would delete your children, your wives and children, and draw you out to a war and then they use war to draw you out and then distress your women and children. They delete some of them, let you see them hanging or or uh, what you call it, battered. Let you see your people. They didn't let you bury your people. They didn't bury you. They let you be seen. They distress you by destroying your people. And they took some people captive, your women and children captive, and held them on in the forts. And they would tell you, drop your weapons, come and live on these plantations, come and live on the reservation, and we'll take care of you. Stop fighting, drop your weapons, ceasefire, let's have a ceasefire. Like they're doing now. There's no new trick. They don't have any new, it's the same old playbook. We're going to bomb you out of the Stone Age, into the Stone Age, until you surrender, and then we're going to put you in the ghetto, put you on these reservations and plantations so we can watch you. You can't live by yourself without us watching you, because you're going to devise, you're going to re-up. You're going to re-up, reload up, get your bearings together, and you're going to take revenge on the wickedness that we done to you. So we can't leave you without watching you. We got to make sure you're not upgrading your weapon system. You got to make sure you're still locked in mental slavery. Okay? We got to make sure you still pledge allegiance to our flag and not your own flag, to the Moors. Okay? So let's go and look at this population, then we get out of here.
One African family.
Okay.
We need to drink this.
What is that?
This is double sever.
It's a bar, bro.
Clear. Cut the place. You see nothing crazy about.
Okay, this is inside the Jamaican hood. All right. So you got a lot of the Edomites have bought up Jamaican, and they got their own neighborhoods, and now they want to film and show you what they done to our neighborhoods, to our people. Whenever this is a white guy, so-called white guy, we'll let him call himself what he want to call him. Yahushua gonna straighten all that out, right? You see their heathens, see their dress code? Esau went and stripped them down too. So that's what they do when you're in slavery. That's how you know you're in slavery. You're not following God's laws, and Esau stripped you down. That proves you're a slave. When you take your clothes off and walk around half naked, that's proving you're a slave. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Let's go watch a little of this video.
Okay, so there's a little mural for Tivoli Garden. Tivoli is known as one of the most notorious areas in Kingston, and I wanted to take you guys in, meet some people, and document life in there and see how it really is on the ground as opposed to what they say in the news. This is how it looks as you're walking to Tivoli. And these are the kind of buildings that the people live in.
So he's showing he's come down here to expose to the devastation of these people. So why do they feel the need that they have to show the devastation and the destruction that they've done to the people? They know what's happened. They know who we are. They know how we got like this. But you'll find them. He's on code with his people. White supremacy. He's on code with them. You see how he turned to the trash? They got a lot of content creators doing this. You see, they let him right in. The same thing in America. They let Esau walk through and expose them, the devastation on their communities, and he's untouched. I'm just showing you the reality of it. I'm not telling you to go do any harm to anybody. because the Most High say don't meddle with him. He's going to get the revenge by the hands of his people Israel. They're going to get it. Everything they do to us, they're going to get the repay of it. Now you see, they don't want that repay. They tell you, no, you're not. We're gonna be ruling in heaven too, so y'all ain't gonna get a chance. Y'all ain't gonna get a chance to pay us back or to do us like we did y'all. Cause we're gonna rule over y'all in heaven. Now I don't know what heaven you going to, but you're gonna be sadly mistaken. When you get there, it ain't gonna be like you think, right? Because we're gonna be in rulership. Isaiah 14, and all through the Bible, He's gonna redeem us and bring us back to who we were, rulers of the earth, okay? And you know that's the way it's supposed to be because Netanyahu and Trump, DJT, they cited a religious war, and they said that they have the right to delete all the people of the earth because the earth was created for them. That's who we are. They stole our identity, remember? So they know that the earth was created for us because that's why they stole our identity, to get the title deed to the earth and to subdue us while they live out their grandfather Esau's curse. He think it was a blessing, it was a curse. So we're going to go, let's try to see if we can find the Afro-Mexicans, and we're going to go straight to those proof of the population count. Now listen to the hijack here. I'll stop and point it out to you. Now we see here Haiti and the Dominican Republicans. Now listen to this.
The Dominican Republic and Haiti share an island called Hispaniola, located in the Caribbean Sea. It was in the Dominican Republic that Christopher Columbus founded the first Spanish colony in the New World in 1493.
He founded the first Spanish colony. No, he didn't. Because Haiti's beat the hell out of all the European armies, and they never went into slavery until now. They're not occupied. They're still not free because they're in captivity by Edomite rule, Roman rule over the whole earth. So, yeah. But he's saying he founded the first Spanish colony. No, they didn't. I just showed you. He went in, did some damage, but they ran his butt out of there. They ran him out of there. Now, I just showed you the Dominican Republic. Do that look like a Spanish colony? Not like New Jersey, Iowa. Not like over here, where we are the few. We are the few. Now, I'm sure they don't have the count right for black people here in America, because they say we're only 13%. But they've dropped the population count from 570 million people down to about 340 million people. And the Bible says that in these last days, as World War III approach, we're going to be like the sands of the sea. So I'm sure it's more people than it used to be, more Israelites, Northern Kingdom Israelites, and the Southern Kingdom here in North America than it used to be, because their population numbers are falling out. Up to a percentage, the percentage is different. Instead of being 13%, we probably like, I bet 40%. But they're not going to let you know it. Okay, so this is quick.
The Spanish began trafficking enslaved Africans to Hispaniola in the early 1500s.
Slave Africans. I doubt that.
Notable slave resistance leader of the period was Sebastian Lemba, who, in 1532, led an uprising against Spanish colonial rule. Mama Tingol was a Dominican farmer and...
See, when they name people, they naming one or two people, right? They'll name this one that same way they doing now. Oh, that's Michael Jordan. He got rich. Y'all, if he got rich, y'all can get rich. They're doing it right now. They'll name one or two people that they say they had in slavery. Keep watching. But we see in the Dominican, we'll show you the population. But in the Dominican is more black and brown people than it is Spanish people, right?
Activist leader who fought to defend the rural farming community in the Dominican Republic from illegal land seizures. She was assassinated in 1974, and today in the Dominican Republic there is a statue and a subway station in her honor. The Congos of Via Maya are a collection of communities based in Via Maya, descended from the Congo region in Africa. In 2001, the community...
No, that's a lie. That's the hijacker right there. Descended from the Congo region. No, that's a lie. These are Negroids. They're not Hamites. These are Negroids. These are Northern Kingdom Israelites. And I can't see them let them and you know there might be some North America Israelites that they took down there and sold, the Indians. There might be some Jews that they took down there during the 1800s, 17 and 1800s, right? There might be some, they went down there and populated, but these are Negroids. These are American Indians, man. Northern and Southern Kingdom. You can look at their face. Ain't no Africans in their faces, in their features. They look like Jacob and his, 5 wives? Right, they look like Jacob and Jacob's wives. So, yeah.
It was declared an expression of intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO.
Another resource that I have. The resource that I have for you guys, it is getting to know famous Afro-Latinos in Espanol. It was inspired by another resource that I have, which is the Afro-Latino Heritage Month Project. I love that project so much. Head over.
Okay, so a lot of these people, they are still promoting the lighter skin Latinos, right? So we're gonna find a video, Afro Mexicans, and we'll go right to we're gonna go right. It's so much I need to show you guys, man, because we're gonna debunk this idea that these people who don't do their research, is right here, so simple. I'm gonna show you. They can look at Google. So when I find people that saying there's more black people in North America than it is down in the Caribbean and South America, that's the dumbest statement. You could look it up. I'm going to show you how easy it is to find out the demographics and the population count down there. Okay, you see here? You can go look this stuff up, man. Afro Mexicans. You can go look this stuff up, man. It's all over here. They're there. They are there. Let's look at this one. Well, let's see. Forgotten Root. That's a good one. Black Mexicans. Seminole Town. Let's look at the Seminole Town. They tried to say, oh, that's the Seminole. They're all down in Mexico. Black neighborhoods, black African people, black Afro. They came from the Northern Kingdom. Because if they came from Africa, they would all be Judites. So still, if you say, oh, well, they brought them here, took them there from ships of Africa, they're still Judites. We're the Northern Kingdom. Show me the Northern Kingdom on any land where you can say, hey, that's the Northern Kingdom right there. I'm showing you right here. This is the Northern Kingdom. You think they would keep bringing black people from Africa, losing most of their cargo? The insurance company won't even insure those ships in the Strait of Hormuz. They won't even insure them if they know they're going to lose their cargo. They won't insure them. You think those small hats would keep insuring people, and they losing them by the 100 million. You losing their cargo by the hundreds of millions, and they would just keep making the same dumb trip? No. Why did they wanted North America. It's the land of milk and honey. So they moved the Northern Kingdom off of North America after they became a strong nation, after they became a strong nation, meaning they had guns, and they had brought in a lot of what we call the same thing Donald Trump is saying. They brought in their criminals, they sick, they murderers. That's what they did. That's how they brought people over here that did not care about humanity. And you can watch all their Hollywood westerns and stuff, and you see how they treat each other, and and how they treated the slaves that when they got over here, the ones that they did have in captivity. But they could not capture all of the Northern Kingdom. You look at the maps and you look where it said Indian Territory. They had one little territory along that East Coast, and it's like a little dot, and the rest was Indian Territory. Why is that? Why did they need a treaty if they overthrew them? Because Wisdom of Solomon 2, it says, our strength shall be the law of justice. And they're still doing the same thing right now. They're making laws, Jim Crow laws. That's where the strength came in. That's where the strength came in. Our strength shall be the law of justice. Before then, the Maccabees, and we fought and we got out of all those other slaveries. In the Maccabees, the Greeks, we took down Romans, September Severe, and Hannibal. We fought. We kept fighting, right? So, where they needed to use the law was right here after slavery, after 1865. They needed to use the law because they could not overcome us, because we are the gods of the earth, and the Most High had to help them because they could not subdue the strong man to spoil his goods, because they are a weak people and they can't think right, and they don't think war. They used to stand in front of the cannons. You shoot your cannons when they fought somebody. They line up. Civil War, the Civil War, Revolutionary War, they line all the cannons up, they march their soldiers up across a big field, and whoever run out of bullets first, how you strike first, and knocking down like bowling pins, that's how they fought. Well, when they fought Gad and the wars with the Northern and Southern Kingdom, we fought guerrilla warfare. We didn't stand in front of the guns. We hid behind a tree or a rock. We ambushed them. We came in on horses, and they had to line up the wagons, circle the wagons, because we was on them, right? That's before they got strong enough and distressed us enough. The Most High had to put us in slavery. They couldn't do it. All right, let's get back to this. Let's see. Did I want to do this first? Let's do this.
According to official government statistics, Mexico has the second largest black population of any Hispanic country after Colombia, but most U.S. Americans probably had no idea. So where are they? Part of this is because the African descended population of Mexico is largely concentrated in the far south of the country, split between the Pacific coast of the states of Guerrero and Oaxaca, with a smaller population in the state of Veracruz. The Afro-Mexicans are mostly descended from slaves of West Central African origin, as well as later...
He's a liar. He's a liar. See how they're still in the land. They're all saying the same thing. When Cui Mayo, look at him. Look at him. He'll show you that all the Indians were black. All the northern kingdoms in North America, they were black. They brought them down on the citric sandy coast where all the tornadoes, hurricanes, and all of that. They brought them down there and stacked them up on top of each other, right? And they eventually left them down there, but they left their bastard children down there in government. Esau left his bastard children to govern these people. He set them up. They would never set up an Israelite government because the scripture says, like right now, they won't give you reparations. They're scared you're going to buy some weapons or you won't need them anymore. You won't go work on their jobs. They will never put you in power because they know that their time is up. And they would never leave that island, those islands and stuff, those, with you in power, because eventually you're going to get in touch with Russia and China and all of their enemies, and we're going to fight against them. That was the whole fear in everywhere they go. They're afraid we populate faster than them, and they're afraid that if they leave us to ourselves, we're going to join forces with their enemies to take them down based on what they did to us, right? That's what they're afraid of. That's what happens. That's happening right now in Iran and those Gulf Coast countries, right? They're all teaming up against the United States, even NATO, because they found out eventually these people, they always knew since John Adams and George Washington, they always knew that we were going to wake up and hold them accountable. And the Most High was going to hold them accountable for what they done to his chosen people. And they knew that, and they know that. So, no, they would have to watch us. Let's look.
Afro-Caribbean migrants from the West Indies, and the majority are heavily intermixed with neighboring indigenous tribes of southern Mexico, and this has given them a unique culture similar to other Afro-Latino groups, such as those in Central America.
You see, they're trying to say the indigenous tribes are white, and they call them indigenous, but they call these people Seminole Indians, right? They came over to Mexico. No, you brought us there. You set what I just said. They set their bastard children up as the indigenous people all over the Americas. Think about that.
Colombia and Ecuador. According to the most recent Mexican census, over 2 million Mexicans, or 2%, identify as Afro-Mexican, but there are less than 0.3% of Mexicans in the United States. According to official government statistics.
Okay, we got that right. Okay, let's look at check and effect.
¿Verdad? Y con las indígenas que ya se habían casado con los africanos. Entonces, aquí nos muestran cómo es una hacienda de una galera, cómo eran los palenques, ¿no? Aquí nos muestran cómo el africano siempre le gustaba vivir en comunidad, ¿no? Siempre juntos, aunque hubiera más terreno, ellos vivían en pequeñas agrupaciones. Pues estas son historia de México.
Hold on, I gotta tell you guys about this turtle.
Okay, so you see this video. How did it get way up here? Okay, let's watch a little bit.
Es de Jamaica. Okay, dame eso, por favor. Sí, un vaso chico, por favor.
They say this just because you see them in market don't mean they have any power. Right? Let's see.
Hola. Look at that. ¿Yo puedo grabar eso? Es como promoción.
Muchos clientes.
Sí.
This is Afro-Mexicans, and it's 2 million there. I want you to hear that. It's 2 million. Now let's go. Let's see. Maybe he's got some more better views better. Let's see.
Oh, Lord. Look like I might have to go to the mercado.
Now, see, Mexico is really populated with Blancamentio, whited out people, Esau's bastard children. Now, I can't root them up and say, hey, your skin is too light to be Israelite. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they intentionally stop having offspring with their relatives, with the people of their nation, and went and started having babies by white men. Now, the Mexicans men didn't have they were not privileged to marry white women. So we know that the bloodline in Mexico, in the white population, it comes from the men. So that's the bloodline. Spaniards, blonde head, blue eyes, they're masters. Okay? So let's see.
Indeed, we can currently classify 56% of Los Angeles founding families as black individuals, but such recognition had not been celebrated publicly for generations. In the 1950s, El Pueblo de Los Angeles State Historic Park honored the city's founders with a plaque. The early settlers of African descent had Spanish surnames, and their ethnicity would not have been known had the plaque not indicated it. But soon enough, the plaque disappeared, with only rumors remaining that several recreation and parks commissioners were embarrassed that black people played a part in the city's founding. Another plaque replaced the original one more than 20 years later, but it didn't mention race in honoring the early settlers. It wasn't until Miriam Matthews, California's first credentialed black librarian, advocated for the pobladores that the city installed another plaque for its bicentennial in 1981. That plaque, a bronze tablet, includes the names of the 44 founders, their race, gender assignment, and age. Of the 11 men representing each of the founding families, Antonio Mesa, Luis Manuel Quintero, Manuel Camero, and Jose Cesario Moreno were of African descent, according to historical research.
Now, I know a lot of y'all saying, well, see, there the black people, they're saying the black people. No, it showed you where the black people left California. They were running from the Union, and they moved down in Mexico. They founded whole states in Mexico. States, communities, big communities. And the white Mexicans did not start a Blancamentio. It did not start whiting until around the 1800s. Start whiting out their offspring. You see how they did the same thing Donald Trump is doing. They took away all evidence that the black people's advancement. That's another word I want to use. Achievements, black people's achievements, building, where they built the country. They want all evidence gone that we had anything to do with building this country. They really think that that's going to help them, that they're going to put us back under Jim Crow laws, and when the Bible said that they will not take us back into Egypt again. Right? Anybody know where that's at in 2nd Ezra? They will not take us back in slavery again. So that's going to fail. That's what the Most High is doing now. He's bringing them down to nothing, where they have no power, and they're going to have to run underground to stay safe until those nukes fly. So, yeah, well, you see the date, 1751 or 1760 something there, and they still had not subdued all the black people. They did it by laws, and they did it by so-called Spaniards whiting out the population, their population, making them pure white and becoming dignitaries for white supremacy. That's how it happened. So we're going to go here first. and just show you Afro-Brazilians in Wikipedia and Afro-Brazilian Afro-Latinos. Look down, 50% of Brazilians current African descent estimated at 50%, 91 million, right? 45% up here, Wikipedia. So let's keep going. These are Brazilians again, 50.7, 91%. Let's go. Cubans, I didn't even do Colombia. I should do Colombia. They said Colombia has a big population too. 1 million. So that's 91, 92 million, 93 million. 93 million so far. What is this? And here's the language. Here's the languages in Havana, Cuba. They speak Spanish, Lucum, Habla, Congo, English, Portuguese, French, Haitians, Creole, Cubans. Well, they went all these other places and learned this stuff too. Because you can learn Creole in Louisiana. Okay, you get down here, you see, let's see. Now we're going to go over here, the Dominican Republicans. Now, what did I get that number? I don't think I got that number. But let's show you, there's some good information here. The Cuban religion, and show you the different tribes of people there. And I think it's about maybe 40-something thousand. I might see it. We might see it again. The Dominican Republicans in 2026, that's 11 million. So we got 104 million right now. 2025, 11 million. So that's 104 million calculating Cuba and Brazil. So again, then the total in Jamaican black, the Afro people. So that's 105 million. See their total population? 2.8. So that's 106 million. Now Mexico, Afro Mexico, 2.5. That's almost 110 million. That's 110 million. 2.5 million. Okay, let's see if we got anything. Puerto Rico, we can look and we see they got 237,000. So that's 100. Let's say 111 million. Let's say 111 million because you know they lying. Okay, let's see. Where is this at? I think 29. So let's say 60,000. Let's say 60,000. 110 million and 60,000. Okay. That's the same thing. This is Latin American Caribbean population. It's 670 million. And the percentage of would be 50% blacks and black and brown black people, not Spanish or Portuguese and all of those, not the white people. I would say it was more, but let's go with 50%. That's 340 million people, black people in the Caribbean. How in the hell are they saying, this is in 2026, that it's less black people, black and brown people, Israelites in the Caribbeans than it is in North America. So let's say it's 100 million people here in North America. That's 400 million And these Caribbean people, they are not pure white. They are sending them back, right? Donald Trump is getting them off the land. So actually, they're going to be more black than they are Spanish, Latinos when they come back up again, because they're going to be mad the way their bastard daddies and brothers and mothers treated them. Well, not mothers, but their mothers are Israelites. So you got 400 million black people in North and South America. Let's just say 500 million people in North and South America. Jamaica got 185,000. South America. These are Afro. These are Latino Caribbean. Okay, we see the total number there. And population, American population is 8% of the total world population. Total Latino American populations in the Caribbean is only 8% of the total world. Where else is it Latino population? Latino American Caribbean population. It's only 8. They're saying it's only 8%. So we got almost 500 million people, brown and black people in the Caribbeans, Latino speaking people, Portuguese and all of that. It's almost 500 million people, man. So I don't know where we get this notion from. Where is this at? Okay. Urban. In the urban area, 85% of the population, black people, in the urban area. 85%, where we just watched Dominican Republican, they're living in the cities and different, they have their own small communities and they're all over, but it's 85% instead of 50% like they try to portray themselves. They're dying and not repopulating. So 86%, yeah. Okay, that's it. So, that's it. And let's see.
People of African descent go back hundreds of years in Mexico, but as people of African descent go back hundreds of years in Mexico, but as
Okay, so I want you to hear this. This will be the last one. But I want you to hear this. This is your people you like. They're reporting it, okay? Let's listen.
the group, Afro-Mexicans are largely invisible. A 2015 census is changing that. CCTV's Frank Contreras has insight from Mexico's southern state of Oaxaca.
Among Afro-Mexican communities here on the Pacific coast of Mexico's Oaxaca state, this dance is symbolic. Locals say the devils represent the growing power of African descendants in this part of Latin America. It's a history that's beginning to gain global attention. The presence of Africa here in Oaxaca state is one of the lesser-known aspects of the vast cultural...
You see the hijack? They're calling us African devils. You see the hijack? So we see who he is. He's reporting for major news. But the information that I want you to hear is that they are there. And they are hiding them. They've been hiding them. And now because we have YouTube and travelers exposing the Negro population in all down through the Caribbeans, speaking Latino, speaking Latin, and the skin tone, the facial features and everything, they are the Northern Kingdom. They are the Northern Kingdom of Israel. All praises to the Most High.